Learning to drive can be tricky, and sometimes, once you get the basics down, it can be easy to assume you already know it all. It's extremely important, however, to practice defensive driving for all the unpredictable moments you will experience while on the road. No matter how good you think you are, there are situations you cannot predict. Rain, snow, bad or unsafe drivers, road obstacles, these are just some of the examples of what is out there waiting to cause carnage on the road. This brings me to what this video is really about. Donuts. And not the country ones. In an article written by a longtime car lover, he explains how drifting is all about car control, where the driver needs to know how his or her car will react to the road surface, how to instantly react to outside forces, where to look, and how to recover from mistakes. Continuing on to say how you need impeccable hand and foot coordination and confidence in a vehicle. These are all good skills to have in order to be a safe driver. Fun fact, when my mom was in driver's ed, they encouraged all of them to do a donut, so that they could get a feel of what cars are capable of and how to re-stabilize an out-of-control car. Fun fact number 2. My dad was promptly kicked out of his driver's ed class after he drifted around the corner in the snow. This he was not asked to do. So let's get into the basics. I'm sitting in my car, which is a rear-wheel drive stick shift. It's important that you choose the right car, as some cars simply are not capable or require an entirely different process. In a stick shift car, you have to manually shift through the gears. They're also known as manual transmissions. Driving a manual can take a good week to learn, so if you don't already know how to drive one, I highly recommend you go out and borrow or buy a cheap stick to learn. I think the best way to learn how to drive a stick is through practice, and it's a great skill to have. The first step is to find an open and safe area that you have permission to drive in. Once you're in the clear, push in the clutch, put the car into first gear, slowly release the clutch, giving it a little bit of gas so you pick up speed, until you are positioned well for when you first break your wheels loose. There are multiple ways to break your wheels loose and initiate the drift. For this video, I'll be focusing on clutch kicking. This method builds up the RPMs, revolutions per minute, and drops the clutch back into first or second gear. The surge of power to the wheels is enough to break the car loose, making your only job holding the position as you spin in a circular path. Now that you have some momentum and are lined up, you are ready to clutch kick. Turn the steering wheel tighter into the turn and push the clutch in. Quickly push the accelerator to raise the RPMs and drop the clutch. This brings you to the final step, which is holding the drift/donut. You now have to manage the brake, acceleration, and steering until there is a balance made. This step will take a lot of practice, but it's all about feeling how your car moves and reacts to things. In a 5-step guide online, the author explains that once the front of the car starts to slip, you should take your foot off the accelerator. This shifts the weight from the back of the car to the front, which allows the back to stay light while you're spinning. Now that the rear is swinging out, you need to spin the wheel all the way to the other end, while reducing the accelerator by approximately half. How much throttle you use depends heavily on what car you have, so you should find the best way through trial and error. This is why practice is so important. Without learning the capabilities of your car and how it reacts in different situations, you would never know how to react in a split-second decision during a dangerous road incident. In order to do this, you must practice defensive driving extensively. In a country that gives its citizens their licenses way too easily, you need to be extra vigilant to keep your loved ones and yourself safe while on the road. This means going above and beyond what is expected from you. Learning to keep full control of your vehicle in a situation that seems fully out of control is a valuable skill, often overlooked in today's world. You should never assume you already are the best at something, especially when pertaining to your safety. So if you find yourself with a free day and the drive to learn something new, get it, drive, I urge you to give this a shot.